Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the feat Righteous Heritor.
Oh, holy light. You're a paladin or some crap. This is a fourth level fourth level prereq from fourth level feat with the prerequisite Sign on the Outer Planes from Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse, specifically Sigil in the Outlands is the book that this came in. If you get there's like context around it because Sign of the Outer Planes is obtainable as a background feat with some of the backgrounds in that book. So like if you get it as part of your background, it's a lot better than if you have to spend a feat on Sign of the Outer Plane at fourth level, or like a variant human Sign of the Outer Planes as your feat. Like you don't want to have to do that. So for this conversation, generally speaking, I'm going to assume you got Sign of the Outer Planes through your background. If you didn't, everything we're going to say, basically just take it down a notch, like take it down a point or two, because it's so much worse when you have to invest a whole feat into Sign of the Outer Plane. Anyway, it says you channel cosmic forces of good to gain these benefits. Ability score increase the ability score of your choice by 1 to a max of 20, and then you get Soothe Pain. Whenever you or a creature within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to reduce that damage by a d10 plus your proficiency bonus. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended when you finish a long rest.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, it's got the same thing we've had in the other Scion next level feats, where you can choose an ability score of your choice. So that's nice.
Honestly, great place to start. It means whatever your main stat is, you can just slap a 17 on it, and then you get to fourth level, and now it's an 18, and that's going to always feel great. And then if you like Righteous Heritor and also have the other background, then yeah, sure, it's almost free.
I think the second part, the Soothe Pain, is going to depend a lot on whether or not you have something else you'd rather be doing with your reaction.
Yeah, I think like spellcasters in particular are going to struggle to find room on their sheet for this, just because shield, absorb elements, silvery barbs. Like there's a lot of known quantity, cheap, good reactions that they get. Even things like monk is like, oh well, I've got deflect missiles, or attacks of opportunity probably are the most likely common reaction, but it's still not that common. So like most martial characters outside of monk, I could see having some room to want this. Like paladins, maybe. I think it's kind of like a natural fit, right? You want goody two shoes, Sign on the Outer Plane, good. You got Sacred Flame, which is terrible. Resistance to radiant damage, which is terrible. And then you're like, okay, Righteous Heritor, great. I get a kind of defensive supportive payoff, which is like a pool of d10s that you reduce incoming damage by. Yeah.
Well, d10s plus your proficiency, right? Yeah.
So like d10 plus 2 or 3 in the mid tiers. Yeah. That's fine. I don't.
Yeah, fine is about the word I'd use to describe it. It's not something I'm getting excited about.
And that makes it
certainly
like,
not something I'm dipping 2 feet into.
Yeah, right. That's where the capital problem ends up being, is that I wouldn't be excited about this if it didn't have a prerequisite. Like it's just a cute little reaction that a handful of supportive characters will want to take in, and it won't even be that good on them, right? Like Inspiring Leader is way, way, way better than this. I'm also notably not that high on Inspiring Leader, but like Soothe Pain is substantially worse than that feat, and you don't have to take a prereq for that feat. Now, this comes with a +1 ASI, and that's not nothing. That's valuable. It's, you know, giving your strength to 17 to 18 is useful. If you wanted to like to like walk between worlds of, I still kill people with a great sword, so I get a +4 on my strength, so that's great. And you got an 18, you'll smash people pieces. But I also want to help my teammates stay alive and be a goody two shoes. You know, everyone will not die while they're near me. I'm a protector and all that kind of crap. Then this kind of is that. I don't see that being a lot of characters. I don't see that being a lot of, honestly, like player motivations. I don't see lining that up particularly well. I don't see a lot of people that are trying to build a character in such a way that they can walk that line on a very like thin axis, while also having taken the prereq for this, while also taking even the background prereq for this. This is the worst of the backgrounds by a pretty big margin. So I'm just like, I don't really see how this gets on a character sheet. And even if it does get on a character sheet, it's like fine. Like it's like 3d10 plus 6 bonus temp HP to the party, kind of, right? Like you reduce 3d10 plus 6 damage ish. Or sorry, 3d10 plus 9. Right. 40d10 plus 4 or 44 plus 16 is the next scale up that you get at like 9th or 11th level or something like that. But like, none of those have me particularly excited. Like there isn't a point in the game where I'm like, Soothe Pain is all of a sudden really good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think maybe like a melee fighter who's going to be selfish and use it all in himself. And
Maybe
yeah,
there's some fighting styles that like I know some like they're the general consensus is that they're not particularly powerful. I will agree they're not particularly powerful, but I think they're very fun and they are cute little and supportive things. Those are protection and the one that the alternative version that reduces damage. So
interception.
Interception, that's the one. So protection like blocks hits, interception reduces damage. Interception is a fighting style for basically this, and I'm not particularly high on that, right? So I think that if you want to go that route, that's just what you do, is you just take interception. Now, granted, that doesn't work on self, I don't think. I think it has to be a different ally. It's still doing 90% of what this is doing at no real extra cost. I think I was probably too kind to this in my review of it. I think that there's not going to regularly be sheets that you can get this on. This is going to be one of those feats that no one's going to know exists because the barriers to get it are very high and the payoff is not really there. So garbage, trash, unusable.
Let me ask you this. All right. Yes. So, all right. Say you take 5 damage.
Okay.
And then roll higher than 5. You only get back the 5 damage.
Yeah, it doesn't. If something hits you for 3 damage and you use Righteous Heritor and you roll 11, you you knock it out of the park, roll like an 8 plus 3, only 3 damage is mitigated. It doesn't like give you 10 HP or anything like that.
Right. All right, that I feel like they could have worded that to make give you a little bit more juice in there, but no, as it stands, it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Still not unusable. Does something.
It technically does something, and that is the bar that we have for 2s in this household, right? For it is an ASI bump, and it does something. So again, I think maybe if you've decided for your character's backstory, for their background, you're like, all right, I am going to be touched by the angels and all from Mount Celestia and doing the cool whole Halo Asimar thing. I'm going to go good outer planes, on the outer planes, and I don't care that I don't get a feature from it because you don't. Then you can go, well, I'm already there, so Righteous Heritor kind of fits my aesthetic, and I can't really be a fighter because interception would replace this, and I can't really be a paladin because interception, I think that's a paladin option too, could just replace this, but maybe you also want defense, maybe you also want like Great Weapon Master or Great Weapon Fighting or something like that, and then this might find a home. So like on ones of characters that started with a background for thematics only, maybe this has a home. Can we call that more than a 1? Is that something, or is that like such a minute population that you should just call it a 1 in garbage and get it out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. It does something, but yeah, feel free
if
to
it does
give
something,
it a 1.
but nobody will ever use it.
It's like a tree that falls in the forest.
Exactly, right? Like if we stabled a 20th level monk feature that required you play only the worst subclass, and you weren't allowed, and you had to like have a 10 dex, but that feature like you win every fight automatically, like that's not a real feature. That's a 1. It doesn't matter what it does because no one's ever gonna get there. That's kind of how I feel about this. Less extreme, obviously, but fine. I'll give it a 2. I think that like in a vacuum, if we don't look at the prereq and if we don't look at how people will actually play at tables, this does something.
And don't look at other feats.
Yeah. So, like, sure. I think if you find this on your character sheet, you won't necessarily have a bad time with it. I just don't expect people will try to get this on their character sheet.
Right. Yeah. That sounds about right. All right. That was Righteous Heritor. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know what you think of Righteous Heritor down in the comments. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.